Good morning and welcome to the registration process for the 2019-2020 school year. This presentation is intended for parents and students at Ardrey-Kell High School to help you complete your registration card and answer any questions you may have. Before we get started, I want to go over some resources that are available to all students. Your homeroom teacher has your registration card. Those are grade level specific. They also have a pink information handout that should accompany every registration card. There is an Ardrey-Kell registration website that can be found at akregistration.weebly.com that has all kinds of information. This presentation will be posted there if you want to go see it again. It has copies of all the registration cards. It has all of the required forms that you might need. It has course descriptions and links to the high school planning guide. So that registration website is a great source of information, and we really encourage you to use it to answer any questions that you have. Your homeroom teachers also have several paper copies of the CMS High School Planning Guide. If you'd like to look through those for course descriptions, the full electronic version of that planning guide is also linked on the Ardrey-Kell and CMS main websites. To overview the registration process for this spring, today is Tuesday, February 5th, and you will be getting your registration cards and information sheets distributed in homeroom. Coming up on Monday, February 11th, we have a parent registration and AP information night. That will be at 6 p.m. here at Ardrey-Kell. You can come hear about all the different AP courses that we offer, but also get general information about the registration process. Make sure to let your parents know about this night so that they can plan to attend and get any questions answered that they have. All of your registration cards will be due back here at school on Wednesday, February 13th. We will have a 60-minute homeroom on that day where you will have time to finalize your card to make sure it's completed and then to enter your course request back into PowerSchool on that day during homeroom. Then for the rest of February and throughout March, you will be called to the Media Center by homerooms, and every counselor will meet with every student to make sure that we go over your course requests to make sure they meet graduation requirements and that you're appropriately placed at the right level and answer any final questions that you have at that time. Some general information about completing your registration card. It's very important that you use a pencil. We find that a lot of students change their mind throughout this process, so make sure you use a pencil so that you can erase it. Make sure that the demographic information at the top of your card is complete. That helps us throughout the process, so do take some time to fill out those blanks on the top of your registration card. When you're filling out the card, you will mark your top 8 course requests with an X. Those 8 course requests are made up of both your core subject areas and also your electives. So your top 8 you're going to mark with an X next to the course name. For each of your core subject areas, so for your English, your math, your science, social studies, you'll choose your next sequential course. After that, you will round out your top 8 with electives to make sure that those total 8 top choices. And then, after you've chosen your top 8 course requests, you'll need to make sure to choose some alternate courses by writing the course names in the boxes on the back of your registration card. You'll see that you need to write in A-Day, B-Day alternates and 4x4 alternates on the back of your registration card. If you're trying to decide which classes are A-Day, B-Day and which classes are 4x4, you can tell that by looking on your registration card and seeing which classes are typed in bold font. The classes that are in bold font are our A-Day, B-Day classes. Those classes are taught every other day for the entire school year. The 4x4 or semester classes are the ones that are in regular, not bold font on your registration card, and those classes are taught every day for one semester. It doesn't matter if you're choosing A-Day, B-Day, or 4x4. The important thing is when you have finished your top 8 classes that you have an even number of A-Day, B-Day classes because those must be chosen in pairs. You don't have to have any A-Day, B-Day classes, but if you do choose them, make sure that they're chosen in pairs. Some general registration guidelines. You can only choose classes that are listed on your registration card. So the registration cards are grade level specific, and if there's a course that you're interested in that's not on that registration card, it's most likely not available to your grade level. So make sure you're only choosing classes that are listed on your card. It's important that you only choose one core course from each subject area every year. For instance, you may not take 2 math classes or 2 science classes. You can choose one core course from each subject area every school year. You'll see on the card that some classes are marked with double asterisks, 2 little stars next to the course name. That means those classes have a prerequisite, and there are classes that you'll have to pass before enrolling in that class. You can refer to the CMS High School Planning Guide to see what the prerequisite is for those classes. There are also several classes that require a teacher recommendation or a signature. They're indicated as such on the card. So if it says application or signature required, make sure that you complete that process before choosing that class. It's important that you discuss your course choices with your parents, so make sure you're having those conversations at home and that a parent signs off on your registration card before you turn it into school on February 13th. A few quick things about AP coursework. Remember that 10th graders may take up to 2 total AP classes. There's not a limit for our 11th and 12th graders, but we do ask that you consider your schedule holistically to make sure you're not taking on too heavy of a course load. Every AP class requires that you sign an AP contract. You can find those contracts available in Student Services, and you can also print them off of the registration website. You can get additional information about AP classes by attending the Parent Information Night on February 11th. There's also course descriptions and course requirements for every AP class that we teach that you can find on the registration website under the AP tab. Remember that AP classes are college-level coursework, so please seriously consider the rigor and the workload required for all of the AP classes that you might be interested in, remembering that once you're in a class, you may not drop it. A few notes about classes taken through North Carolina Virtual Public School and/or through dual enrollment through Central Piedmont Community College. In both of those circumstances, those classes are taken in addition to the classes here at Ardrey-Kell. So at this point in the registration process, it's important that you still pick 8 courses from your registration card. A schedule changes will be made later if you choose to do NCVPS or College and Career Promise classes. For more information about either one of these, you can visit the akvc3.com website. There is an NCVPS tab and also a College and Career Promise tab that will give you full information, including admission requirements and the enrollment process for both of these programs. Remember that the dual enrollment program through Central Piedmont, which is called College and Career Promise, is only available to juniors and seniors, and there are admission requirements for getting into those college classes. For our seniors who are interested in early release or late arrival, there are contracts available in Student Services. You can also print those off from the registration website. Make sure that you get your early release, late arrival contract signed by your parent, and it should be attached to your registration card when it is turned in on February 13th. If you're choosing to do early release or late arrival, that does count as one of your 8 class choices, so keep that in mind when you're totaling up the classes on your registration card. We ask that if you have questions that you please speak to your homeroom teacher or your classroom teachers. They have information about registration. You can also visit the registration website for all of the information that you might need. Counselors will be available in Student Services before school, during your lunch, and after school, all the way up through the time when your registration cards are due. So feel free to stop by and ask questions at any of those times. If that's not convenient, you can email your counselor with questions that you have about registration. If you have a circumstance that you feel you need to make a note of, you can attach any note or you can write information on your registration card and turn it in, and we will consider that when we meet with all students. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope that you have a great day.